Okay. Well, I'm going to try to finish this story while I'm preparing this chicken for canning. Now, what I did was I boiled the chicken. I boiled it in some very healthy spices. The pepper is good for you, for detoxifying, keep your blood pressure, keep your blood thin, keep your blood going. The vinegar, all the homemade vinegars are really good for you, better than the store bought vinegars. And um, salt. People don't tell you, but people think salt causes high blood pressure. It doesn't. The salt doesn't cause the high blood pressure. And salt is really good for you, but they'll tell you, our government and our doctors who want us to keep taking them drugs would tell us that the salt gives us high blood pressure. That's bad for us, but that's not the case. Um, as you see, what I do is I got two pans. I'm gonna put the meat in this pan that I'm gonna can. I'm gonna put the fat and the skin on one side over here in the pan, and I'm gonna put the bones on the other side. So I put the bones there, the fat over there, and the chicken over there. Cause the bones I'm gonna use and boil and make some more stock out of them. The fat and the skin I'm gonna put in the oven to they get hard, that crisp up, and I'll put it back in the meat that I'm canning to make it more flavorful with the the crisp fried chicken crackling. I'll put it in the cans with this and give it even more flavor. Now, right now, I'll be back. I gotta go to the garbage can. Sorry about that. But the stock right now I have boiling. Like I told you, I boil all my sauces stock down to be concentrated so I can use less cans. Now, some of the stock I will put back in the can with the chicken, and the rest of the stock I will concentrate and make me a thick chicken stock for seasoning other foods, making soups, stews, whatever. Like I said, I'll boil. There's a lot of flavor in these bones. So once you debone your chicken, boil them bones down and make a good thick stock out of that. And fry up that fat and that skin, crisp it up. And I like to eat it too by itself sometimes once it's uh, just got the cooking because it's really flavorful. Um, but let me go on with the story while I'm doing this. Um, I think I left off. Well, they made me go to the bathroom, but it was a false flag. It wasn't really nothing happening. They just wanted me to stop recording. Um, as I said, Miss Vera, I found out that she had lied to me about the insurance money from my aunt. From my aunt, and I was really disappointed. And as I said, I called my family and friends, told them how I am so shocked that I just found out the bill like she is. Now, when I had called her and told her she was being slick about giving me them coins that she had switched coins, I called her aunt, the one who told me that people have been mysteriously, Vera has been involved in. My family member thought that the Vera was involved in certain people's death. And I told you, her Aunt Louise's husband, the Vera's uncle, had died not too long ago of cancer too. And Louise told me that the Vera had already planned on getting that house. That she told her Uncle Tom that she was going to put a new dishwasher in there when he died. And he told her that he the house wasn't going to her. It was going to his wife Louise. But that didn't happen. When Tom died, the companies mysteriously would not give Louise Tom's pension money. They came up with all kind of excuses why she couldn't get this pension money. There were a lot of different things, benefits that she was supposed to get as his wife. The Bureau also on the side had collected money from his death by filing without Louise knowing, without filing without Louise knowing it, him on his funeral expenses on her taxes. Not like in all the other cases, like with my aunts, the Vera did all the funeral arrangements. She made sure, because Louise wasn't into it, because during the grief time, the Vera's always there. So again, Mrs. Vera did all the arrangements for the insurance and everything else. Louise wound up getting nothing. So she was telling me all this. I didn't know that. I knew she had a fight with the pension people who did not give her his pension, but I didn't know she had other issues with. So she lost the house that they had shared, that Tom had bought. She lost everything, wound up going into home for senior citizen. Now, the day that I asked for the Vera to give me them other items, when I found out she had switched coins on me. Now, her mindset. Number one, you had enough nerve to ask me to give you 2 of them silver spoons and the old can opener, and you had already switched coins on me. How evil are you? You're still gonna take things from me and ask me to be good to you, nice, and then she's gonna say, "Well, Pearl, I didn't think you was like that." Really? Because I wouldn't give her the spoons. I didn't think you was like that. And you done already switched coins on me? Wow. What kind of mentality is that? How evil are you? So, when I told her to return the things, she texted me and told me that her and Jonathan wanted to come over and evaluate the electricity. Now, remember I told you, she texted me that I've been telling her for a year that this electricity was blowing out my TVs and destroying my things, and I couldn't charge. But now that I asked her to bring me my things, just like she did on the 4th of July, brought me that salt when I asked her for the money from the headstone, she wanted to come over and check the electricity. So I called Louise. Louise said, do not let her come over. She said, the Vera might be up to something really sinister. So, she said, do not let her come over. So I thought about it, and I said, no, because I wasn't afraid, but I just didn't want to be bothered with her. Now you want to come check the electricity. So I told her no, she couldn't come over. That very night, I'm sitting doing some stuff preparation for the food. They're making noises. Because let me tell you, if they could kill me, because they don't want this information that I'm going to put out. So, I must have some kind of supernatural forces behind me, because what I'm about to tell, a bunch of them don't want to know. But, what was that? Oh, so the night that I told the Vera she couldn't come over, police knock at the door and say, Miss Jones, we're looking for a 3-year-old child. I say, 1 minute, officer, let me put some clothes on. So I closed the door up. As soon as I stepped back, they come push the door open and come in here. So I grabbed my phone and I said, "Well, officer, didn't I tell you let me put some clothes on?" This was Officer Martin and a black officer and a white officer. I said, "I told you to let me put some clothes on. How you going to come in my house without me having any clothes on?" And then Officer Martin gonna say, "Well, you told him to come in." I said, "No, I didn't." I said, I didn't tell him to come in. I told him to wait till I put some clothes on." So, now the thing is, they're looking for a 3-year-old child, but they go straight to the kitchen. As I said before, what would I be doing with a 3-year-old child in the kitchen? I done kidnapped her to fix her a snack. So, Officer Martin talking to me while the black officer and the male officers are doing something in the kitchen. Now, they tell me, "Well, you're not concerned. If you see the video, and I probably load that. If you're concerned about a 3-year-old child, that's what they asked me. Well, are you not concerned about a 3-year-old child?" I said, "Yeah, I'm concerned about a 3-year-old child, but you can't violate my rights because you say you're looking for a child. You come in here with no warrants. You just bust my door open and coming in, and then I tell you not to." Well, we didn't bust your door open, but they did. Now, while she keeping me occupied at the front door, they're in the kitchen doing something. And I take the video, and if you see the video, you can see her watching them doing something in the kitchen. I don't know what they were doing, but you can see her watching them doing something in the kitchen. Because, like I said, you should have checked the bedrooms first if you think I got a 3-year-old child. So they leave. Then he asked me, can he check the rest of the house? I said, "You might as well. You in there." So he go in the bedroom and he just opened the door and closed the door to the bedroom back. So you weren't really concerned about no child in the bedroom. You didn't search it. You just opened the door and closed it. What you were concerned about whatever you was doing in that kitchen. So they left. Now, when I talked to my sister now and my daughter, they said, "Well, with the 3-year-old child missing, why wasn't there an Amber Alert? Why wasn't there somebody knew, that a 3-year-old child was missing? Why wasn't there an Amber Alert?" Oh, this cooked it too done, but it'd be all right. And I thought about that. They should have, if they were looking for a 3-year-old child, I should have got an Amber Alert because I try to keep up with that on my phone, and there was no Amber Alert, so they weren't looking for a 3-year-old child. And I'm not registered as a pedophile. I don't have any sexual misconduct history. So why would I be a suspect in a 3-year-old child being missing? Okay, now I don't know why they did that. To today, I don't really know why they but I suspect that they put one of them energy weapons in my house because when I went in the kitchen after they left, the back door was open. Either somebody came in or they brought something in. Because I said the back door was open. The back door was unlocked. So since I wouldn't let Miss Vera in, she had the police make up a lame story and for them to come to do what she wanted done. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures of my face, how I looked when I was poisoned. Now, I can't get them to do anything, any investigations, and I've uploaded put the video up of how my skin is turned black and how I'm being poisoned and how my feet have changed colors. My feet have turned black. And I've taken video earlier of how in my toenails it looks like arsenic poisoning. Because the arsenic gets in your skin and in your nails and you can tell. Now they've been trying to use these energy weapons on me for a long time. AT&T done put their equipment in here. Comcast done put their equipment in here. The equipment is at the courthouse. Oops. The equipment is at the courthouse. When you go in the courthouse, you can build the NG weapon there. Now, that's another thing about the court. When I go to court, because I tell you, I got about these 15 court cases. They have got, this thing is so entailed where when I go to the courthouse, they have already set that day aside for me. When they give me a date to come to court, there's no real cases there. There's no, the people that's there are their people because you can tell because, see, they wear colors. They wear certain colors. And I had noticed a while back that every time I went to court, all these people had their colors on. The black and white and red. And then when solstice came around, all of them started wearing orange. When the summer solstice came around, all of them started wearing orange. And I'm looking at the courtroom, around the courtroom, and there, all the people had their orange and black and white. So I started noticing and I started taking pictures. Because I also noticed that in the courtroom, sometimes, this is the Mandela effect. Every time I say something, something changed. So, like the building next door. When I started recording that nobody really lived, people going in and out of that building, but nobody really lived there, because at night there were no lights on in the apartments. There was no activity. But when I made that recording, all of a sudden they started moving things in. Started moving fans in, air conditioners, started bringing luggage in. That's the Mandela effect. So once I started noticing, for some reason, that there were no real people in the courtroom with cases. There were only lawyers, maybe 20 lawyers, and nobody sitting in the place where the people with the case is supposed to be. So I knew then that this courtroom was just set up as a mock courtroom for that day. There were really no cases in there. That they didn't want any real people, to know what was going on, what they were doing to me in this courtroom. Because since they were just throwing my cases out with no rights, they don't want no witnesses and no court reporters. There are no court reporters anymore. In case you want to file an appeal, you don't have anything to prove that they said this, whatever they said, because there are no court reporters. And I see the lawyers with their phone, and I feel the energy. So, like I said, I started taking pictures of just the lawyers. And then they stopped me and told me I couldn't do that no more. But like I said, they started bringing a few people in, like act like they was having cases. Now we see this all the time about our government doing these false flags, and that's exactly what they do a lot of time. They have these false flags, these scenes and acts where I'm supposed to believe these cases. They didn't got to the point where they didn't put people up there to act like they're lawyers. And these people are not lawyers. They don't dress like lawyers. They don't look like lawyers. They don't talk like lawyers. These are somebody that they done put in a suit. And some of them don't even dress like a lawyer. You know what lawyers wear. You know, they don't even tell them how to dress. How to be conservative, dress business like. They coming out with jeans and, no, these ain't no lawyers. They don't even know the lingo half the time. So I knew it was a marked setting. So one day I was checking the board outside and to see how they set the cases up. And I noticed that on the days that I was there, they had the days with the colors for them to wear their colors. Even all the workers, the employees, the people at the clerk's office, all of them on that day I would come to court would have their colors on. They started giving me fake paperwork and telling me the days changed on every time I would go, the case would be different. They would have new rules. So I started taking pictures of them in the clerk's office. How they would give me a court date and then say, well, if I have 2 or 3 cases, they claim they can't give me, even though they are in the same building about the same case, they can't give me the same cases in the same courtroom. So they would split my cases up where one would be in one courtroom and one would be in another. No, I can't do anything with this, but just can it because it is really cooked too soft, but it's still going to be good because it's very flavorful. But uh, uh, when I started first filing the cases, they would give me 2 or 3 sheets to fill out to bring the case forward. Now it got to the point where, because as an indigent person, I can get my cases paid for by the state if I'm low income. So they were first giving me the paperwork for that. It was just 2 or 3 things to do. Now all of a sudden, when I need to fill out the paperwork for the case, because I had to be in the courtroom by a certain time in order for the judge to sign off for me to get the free uh, legal help, not legal help, but free, uh, bring my case to court for free. And I'm supposed to be there by 10 o'clock, be in that courtroom by 10 o'clock. They only do it twice a day, 10 o'clock in the morning. It was 10:30, but now they told me it's 10 o'clock. They mistakenly make a lot of mistakes because the last one paperwork she gave me, it was 10:30 again. So they only switch it up for me. So, and then they assign me to a different courtroom each time I go and file a case. Now, they have a courtroom that was already set up to do the fee waivers, but now they keep sending me to a different courtroom every time I need to do a fee waiver. But like I said, 10 o'clock and 2:30 instead of 10:30 like it used to be. So now they give me paperwork. Instead of the 2 or 3 sheets or 4 sheets, now I got to the point where the paperwork had got so tedious. 27 pieces of paper I had to fill out, and I got video of that too. 27 pieces of paper I had to fill out for one case. Now, if I'm filling out, and then they don't give you they used to give you the ones that you use and you press it down and it goes to the next page. Well, now they were giving me paperwork that each and every piece, no carbon copy behind them, each and every piece had to be filled out. So 27 pieces of paper, somebody in here, 27 pieces of paper I had to fill out in order to get to that courtroom on time. So if I have more than one case I need to work on, it would take me all day. So I started taking the paperwork, filling it out at home. That way when I get to the courthouse, it'd already be filled out in case I need paperwork for another case. But and I talked to the managers because they were giving me court dates saying this was your court date, and I get to court, that wasn't my real court date. Or they were giving me pieces of papers that they filled out, and they hadn't delivered it to the people who were supposed to get served. Or they were giving me paper with no court date on it at all. So it had got really ridiculous, and I started talking to them and telling them that I am going to come and clean this place up. But you guys are just ridiculous. You have got to the point where every time I come here, it's a new rule. Because when I was filing suits, all I had to do, especially if it was in small claims, if it was under $5,000, all I had to do was fill out the paperwork and they give me a court date and I'd be back in court. Now, when I tried to fill out the paper, they wouldn't give me any court dates anymore. That's the way Social Security did me too. They said, well, we have to wait till you serve the person, and then the person contacts us, and then once he contacts us, we'll give you a court date, and then you have to come in. Now, I've never heard of any situation where they don't give you a court date, when now all of a sudden you have to wait till the person that you're suing contact them. Because number one, now you can assign me a court date once he or they get involved. How do you know that I'm available that day? How do you know this is a day that's convenient for me? And the judges had started doing that too. giving the lawyers court date wouldn't consult me at first. They're telling the lawyers it's convenient. I said, no, it ain't convenient for me. If I asked for a court date, they didn't want to give me the court date I asked for. They tried to make it convenient for the lawyers. Wouldn't even consult me. But I put a stop to that. But as I said, now they wouldn't even give me a court date. Wouldn't give me no court dates, saying that I had to wait till a person contacted me. So as you know, I would since they told me I couldn't, even though the lawyers and everybody else in the courtroom had their phones out. As soon as I pulled my phone out to take the picture of what's going on, there was a problem. So since they told me I could not use my phone in the courtroom where everybody else got their phones, I stood outside the door. Now what I did, I was standing outside the door, and I'm gonna put everything out there because I do want to get rid of this conversation about this harassment. So I'm gonna put everything out there so you'll know these things, uh, they'll be available to you if you want to see them. Uh, so I went outside the door since they told me I can no longer take my phone out in the courtroom. I went outside the door and I took pictures of the lawyers with their phones and the people who had all kind of devices coming in there. And all of a sudden, I'm standing outside, and deputy, the bailiff, whatever you call him to be in the courtroom, from the courtroom next door, came to me and said that somebody told her that I was outside the door recording. Now, who told you that? Because I saw nobody leave the courtroom because I'm standing at the front door. And why would they go to you in another courtroom? Why would they go to you and tell you that I'm recording? And what problem is it? I'm not in the courtroom. But since she said, are you recording? Automatically I say, nope. I say, I'm talking on the phone. So, because you know them lawyers didn't want to be recorded doing what they was doing. So I say, I'm talking on the phone. But it just so happened that I had two phones with me at the time, and they look alike. So I said, I'm talking on the phone, and they tell me why I can't talk on the phone in front of the door in the courtroom. Wow. So I walk away from the door, and I go and sit back in the courtroom, and all of a sudden, the bailiff in the courtroom that I'm at, she comes and told me that somebody say you did record. Now, how would they know this? Unless they could know, they knew that I had recorded. But when I told them I was talking on the phone, it shouldn't have been no discrepancy. Because I walked away. Y'all said it right here, and I walked away. But now you're going to come back to me and say somebody told you? And that's why I know. They know everything that goes on my phone. They knew I had took that picture on my phone. They know that the pictures of them lawyers were on my phone. So they wanted the bailiff to take my phone. So when she said, I'll have to look at your phone, I pulled out my other phone. And I showed her that there were no pictures. So she couldn't say anything. But you can tell they were highly upset. Because number one, y'all weren't supposed to know what I got in my purse. How y'all supposed to know I had 2 pounds? I showed her what she asked, but there was no pictures on that phone. So, but I knew then that it was going to get harder and harder for me to record what was going on. And another thing about this courthouse I go into, not only are the scenes staged, these courtroom scenes staged, and there's really no real cases there on the day I go. When I stand outside, as I said, all of them in the colors. They got their colors on, and I can feel them when they point their energy weapons at me. And he got to now another thing that I took a video of. Markham Courthouse is in a black. It's a neighborhood, and it's historically black. Every time I go there, because I used to say to myself all the time, only people I see here is a few Hispanics and all black. All of a sudden, when I started going, all these white people were showing up. Not no thinking white, but it's just that why have all of these white people started coming to Markham Courthouse? So I had to record that. Now, when I recorded that, all of a sudden there was a problem again about me using my camera, my phone. Just spat out of here. About me using my phone. So, there were a lot of old white people. Now, what has these old white people done? What if they possibly done? They can't hardly walk. But here they is at Markham Courthouse. You know I didn't believe that. These old people ain't did nothing. Ain't got no cases. So I knew it was they had to bring some new faces in. Okay. I think I'm gonna end this right here so I can go in the kitchen and set this up, put this up aside, so get the stock boiling for the bones, put my fat and skin in the oven, and put this in the refrigerator so when that crisps up, I can mix it in with this. I urge you guys to be back. This must be a series. Ooh, this chicken is good. This must be a series because it's taking me a long time to get this out. I'll be back. Okay, got my crackling on the pan that's been sprayed with a little oil so it won't stick, because even though it's fat, it sticks. In my little regular oven, got my bones here that I'm going to stick into this pot with hot water. It don't have to be hot, but water. And it's going to boil all the good seasoning and the pieces of meat off the bones to make a good stock. Because it's already seasoned. The seasoning I put on the chicken. So these bones will make a good stock because it has bits of pieces of meat that's on the bone that's going to boil out. And flavoring from the bones. Okay, so I'll let that boil down. This is my stock from the chicken itself boiling down. You see how high it used to be? I don't want to burn my camera. See how high it used to be? And it's boiling down. It's going to be thick, rich. So I won't have to use that much when I'm seasoning my food. It won't be watery. It'll be thick, and I'm going to add maybe a couple of spoonfuls and season my food to make a soup or stew. All right. I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna make this about 15 minutes. I think if I have to keep making them and it gets about 45 minutes, I'm gonna start fresh because I don't want to keep you guys looking at some for hours and hours. So it's 34 minutes now. I'm gonna do another 11 minutes, and then I'll do another one. But in the meantime, I want you to tell you I feel this energy weapon. So I'm putting in it, and I can feel the direction it's coming from. So it's coming in from in back of me. I can feel it in the back of my head and in my back. So they're probably out in this hallway from upstairs. So I want to go out here and see. It's either in the hallway or a car on the side. And usually if there's a car on the side, they'll run as soon as I open the door, they'll run that way. So if it's in a car, if it's not a car on the side, that means they're in the hallway. I didn't stop, so that means they must have run upstairs because they know I'm going to come in the hallway. And the lights are on up there. So it's not a car out here. Unless somebody's sitting in the car with the lights out. I don't see anyone. And it's in something. They finally got lights on in that building. That's what I'm saying, the Mandela effect. At night, they're using the lights on. Never, ever. And they got 3 cars parked out there. But nobody actually lives there. Okay. Well, let me go back in and check and see whether they're smart enough tonight, to turn off that motion detector. I'll be right back. They were smart enough to turn off the motion detector this evening. But they are usually down in the basement, upstairs, or in the garage. Because the weapons they use, it just can't be one person at point when these energy weapons that they get you. It has to be. They have to have some kind of triangulation. They have to be like, so they can triangulate, and it has to be a main source that they can bounce off, like a rotor in the house that they can bounce off to get a signal off of me. So they were smart enough, or maybe it's somewhere else. Or they're down in the basement. Okay, well, I'm gonna go back in. Start on something else. But energy has stopped right now, so they did run wherever they went, whatever location they're in. Oh, now I'm feeling the top of my head. Oh, let me close this door. I'll be back. I just recorded that little beeping because they didn't come and ask was everything all right. Since that smoke detector went off. Oh, and it brings up another story. The time that my apartment was filled with smoke, for real fire, and I didn't know where the smoke was coming from, and I took a video of what my house was. I was choking. The smoke was so thick, I could not see where it was coming from, and the smoke detector did not go off. So obviously, it was intentionally disabled. But as you see now, all I have to do is cook and open that back door and it goes off. Now in real fire, it never went off. Well, I'm gonna go back in here and finish it up. Give you another 6 minutes and talk to you again. Bye-bye.